How's it going, ACM? I'm here to give a compliment video to the one that Nick just put out about remote hosts and browsing the files within there and deploying various different files to a remote host from your local machine. JetBrains has a cool way of doing it, and it's pretty nice. So I was going to share that with you guys today. Another thing that JetBrains has is this Toolbar tab. Lets you manage all your IDEs really easily. Super useful, especially for updating them and looking through all the projects that you have, as it can get kind of confusing sometimes. Another cool thing it lets you do is clone directly into an IDE from GitHub. Just a little less hassle that you have to do. It'll also open up the project if you already have it there. So there we go. So here's the ACM website. I'm going to go ahead and clone that really quickly. Sweet. So while that is doing all of its indexing and glorious stuff, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into my preferences. For Windows, it's settings. I think it's under file. Maybe. I'm not sure. For Mac, it's under RubyMine and then preferences. For Linux, I have no idea. I don't know anything about that one, so good luck. Basically, whenever you find that, go ahead, search for SSH in here. Don't go to the subversion or the version control. We're going to go to SSH configurations, and we're going to add a brand new one. So here's our SSH configuration. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all that in there, right? The password. Cool thing about the authentication type is you can choose between a key pair or OpenSSH or a password, all depending on what you guys want to do. And then I'm going to throw in the IP, my host, and stuff like that. You can make it visible to either this project or to any other projects. Fully up to you. Most of the time the port's going to be on port 22. If you're changing the port, go ahead and change that. For the ACM Pi, I don't think we are. And then, yeah, that's about it. You can go ahead and test your connection. I've done this a few times, so it's going to look a little bit differently for you than for me. But most of the time, if you haven't connected to the Pi before, it's going to ask you to okay the fingerprint. You can go ahead and say yes. If you already connected to the Pi before, it's going to give you this successfully connected screen. Cool. So whenever you've done all that, go ahead and hit apply. And then we're going to go and take a trip into deployment, right? Which is going to be under build tools, or build, and then, yeah, just build, not build tools. But once you're there, we're going to select SFTP, and we're going to go ahead and name it. So I'm going to say ACM website. Bye, please. There we go. So from here, you can either go and change it, but we probably don't want to. Go ahead and click the SSH configuration that we just made. Go ahead and I guess you could click testing the connection again if you really wanted to. So then we get into this, the root path. This is totally up to you guys and how you want to do it. I prefer to do it a little bit differently, but it doesn't matter. So the root path is basically where you're going to want the file browser to open up at. So we're going to go to home and then go to ACM, right? This is currently where we are in there. But if we wanted just to do the direct repository that we are in, we're going to go to ACM and then the website and hit OK. If you're just going to do ACM, the next few steps are going to be a little bit differently. Just keep that in mind. But yeah. Don't worry about this web server. It doesn't really matter too much because we haven't really done anything. And don't worry about any of the advanced settings because I think we should be chilling on that. Next, we're going to set up the mappings. This is a really crucial part. So the local path should be set up for you. If it's not, it's your absolute file path from the very root of your computer to where you find the root directory for the repository. Next, we're going to set the deployment path, and now this is where things get a little tricky. It all depends, like it says down here, on where the root path that you set for your the root path for the deployed server. So since we set it to the ACM website, we only want to set it to basically looking at the root. which is going to be this root path. If you guys changed it to look more like this, then you can go ahead and make it look something like this. Not like that. Bring it back. There we go. I'm going to take it like that, and then we're going to throw that in there, and it's going to look something like that. You can also go into the file directory if you want to, and look at all that type of stuff. So yeah, so right now this is the actual like the home directory or the root directory for the ACM user. If we go ahead and go into ACM, then we go to website and do it like that. Any way that works for you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it back to what I was having it at before. And I'll show you why in here in just a second. So cool. Once you do all that, you're pretty much set up and good to go. This excluded path thing, it's cool, but it can also be kind of deadly. Basically, you can exclude what you want to upload or download to the server in a very quick instance. It's totally up to you guys and what you want to do. If you're on the back end and you don't want to mess with any of the front end files, you can go ahead and set up the front end files. It's pretty self-explanatory. You basically pick the local path or the deployment path that you don't want to mess with, and then you just basically just figure out where you want to don't want to touch. Simple as that. So yeah, but after you're done with everything that you're gonna mess with, go hit apply, and then hit OK, and then I'll show you a few things of what we can do now. Now we can just go ahead and we can instantly SSH into the Pi without having to do a whole lot. If you just go to Tools for a Mac, on Windows I have no idea, but on a Mac it's Tools, Start SSH Session, and then the SSH configuration that you guys made, and then now we're in the Pi. Kind of cool, right? That's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. The next thing that we can do from that is we can mess with all this sorts of stuff. So there's a lot of things here, and a lot of it can be deadly and a lot of it can't. Or, I mean, could be super nice depending on the project that you're working on. But I will show you kind of how it goes. So the green stuff is all the stuff that you guys are mapped to, which makes a whole lot of sense if you go and look over here. So if I go over here and I hit this file, I say, hi, Nick, because, you know, this is Nick stuff. I can type, right? Go like that. I don't want to add it to GitHub. I don't want to say hi. Right? So after I can spell my own name, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, go to deployment, and hit upload. Cool. So we uploaded to this part of the directory, and we can see it here. All right? So here's the ACM Pi hi Nick, right? This is cool. And so now we can say like, this is fun, right? Basically now you can either, so once you've edited the file, it's saved locally, kind of in like a temp variable type of deal, and then you can upload it back to the actual server and make a super quick little change there, or you can compare it, right? So this is the one that was the most recent one, and then this is the one that it has. So if I go ahead and I just type a bunch of junk down here and then compare it, we'll see that it's a little different. And if we didn't want to do anything, you can just, you know, change it. Cool. So yeah, that's basically what you guys can do with it. Now in terms of some of the more funky things that you can do is you can set various things to happen based off of the deployment settings that you want to go with. You can just either like choose to download everything that you can to the Pi, or you can just upload a bunch of things to the Pi. You can set up this automatic upload and download thing, which basically, I guess I'll show you guys this really quickly. If I go to hi Nick, right, and I click S, or click S, do my Command S, or for Windows, I'm assuming it's Control S. I've never done it on there though. Basically, I automatically just kind of uploaded that file just right off the bat. So now if we go to hi Nick, it's back to what it was before, right? So this can be a double-edged sword if you didn't mean to do anything, but if you want to make quick changes and test them off the Pi, go ahead, by all means, go ahead and try that out. You can also set it up with various different settings. You actually just sync across all the servers with, and you'll get this window and it'll be like, hey, what do you want to grab? What do you want to upload? That type of stuff. All of this is probably way past what we actually need to do, but it's still cool to know that we can do some of this stuff. You can also set up when you do things, like when you push to GitHub, you can automatically sync to, like you can push all the like committed changes to the server. We probably shouldn't do that because we are already like, you know, like it has a Git repo for a reason, so we can just pull when we're done with that. But yeah, so this is all the things that you can do with that. I just wanted to let you guys know. I will see you guys at club. Have a good day.